Today I'm gonna share you guys my honest opinion and review about the new BTS album, Arirang. How many of you guys here have already listened to the album? So not to brag, but not only have I listened to the album, but I also went to the BTS concert that was in Seoul just last week. Maybe you guys might have seen me. Anyway, and there's actually so many opinions around this new album. And in fact, there's so many negative reviews that I've been seeing, especially from Korean audience. So I just want to share my honest opinion, not only as a ARMY, but also as a music listener and also as a musician. I also make music myself. So I genuinely want to give my honest opinion because I feel that a lot of the reviews out there are biased in an incorrect way. So, did you guys enjoy the album? Obviously, some people say I love it, some people say it was mid, some people say I hated it. Before we get into the actual review, can we all agree? Even if the songs, the way they're designed, the song's theme, even if the direction and things like that might not have been your taste, do you guys agree? The quality is top class. I can't have a conversation with someone if they say the quality of the album is low. Because if you have actually listened to the album, and if you actually are someone who enjoy music, then when I talk about quality, I'm talking about the quality of production, quality of mixing, mastering, the quality of the recording. In that sense, guys, it is world class, top class. The quality of the album is low. No, it's not. If you say that, then I'm gonna be a little bit mean. Then you don't know how to differentiate the quality in music. When we talk about quality, I'm not even talking about musical preference. I'm talking about quality as if you're talking about quality of YouTube video. Is it 360p, 180p, 4K? So genuinely, objectively, it's a high quality album. So the part that people are talking about is whether they like the message in it, whether they like the lyrics in it. You know, those aren't necessarily quality. It's more of a opinion and more of a taste issue. So that I understand, but I just cannot understand people saying it's a low quality album. Alright, and then now let's actually get into the album. And before I start speaking further, can I be really honest? Is that I've only really listened to the album 2 or 3 times and I don't have the best memory. So I actually wanted to do this review after I listened to it more, but at the same time, I thought maybe review is something that you do after your initial listen, so it might be okay even if I haven't memorized every single song yet. Because I could still have an opinion even after first or 2 listen. Obviously, that opinion is gonna change after several listen. I just want to say, I don't want to sound like someone who talks without listening to the album. Okay, another thing. I cannot understand. There's people out there who's hating on the album, but they haven't listened to the album. They seen 10-second clips of Swim and they act like they heard the whole album and they judge the album. That I don't understand. If you gotta hate it, you gotta know what it sounds like. You can't just sneak peek at it and then say, oh, this album's mid. That's not a right, proper way to review things. It's not, you don't even have to be a fan to do that. If you wanna say, I don't like this album, that means you actually listened to the album. You could say, oh, I took a little bit of listen, but it wasn't my taste. That's okay, you know. So I just wanna get that clear. Instead of going into this boring talk about how the track number 1 was, let me just get straight into my main opinion. Here's the reason why the new BTS album is actually good. A lot of people is actually being biased by the fact that it's BTS. And what they're saying is that, oh, people are only liking this music is because BTS released it. In my opinion, it's actually the totally other way around. What I mean by that is, if someone that's not BTS has released this album, they would have been so praised by it. Like, for example, imagine if one of newly debuted fresh idol groups, for example, I would say Zero Base One. Imagine Zero Base One or TWS. Imagine Tuas came out with this Arirang album. What are people gonna say? What? I never knew they had this crazy musical skills. This is the best K-pop album coming from a K-pop idol group. But then, because everyone has such a high expectation on BTS, everyone's like just trying to find something to hate about it. Like, you better make this the universe best album. Do you guys get where I'm coming from? If you had listened to this album without knowing it's BTS, if you just thought, oh, this is a freshly debuted group, their name is Silverproof Boys or something, Silverproof Girls, and this is their new album, Arirang, then people would have genuinely said, how could they have this quality? How could they have this singing? I swear, there is such a heightened expectation because it's BTS. I kind of feel the same way with the Blackpink comeback, where even if these artists, such as Blackpink or BTS, make a good music with a comeback, unless it becomes the worldwide hitter, I mean, it is, but unless they make the best song of the century, people just wanna, it's mid, it's mid. And you know what also the issue is? People tend to compare the best with the worst. What I mean by that is, people doesn't just compare this album with the previous album, they compare the favorite BTS song they heard in their life with this album. Does that make sense? If their favorite song from BTS ever was Fire, then you can't compare Fire to Arirang because that was your favorite all time. In that logic, every single other song by BTS, you know how many songs BTS has? But at the same time, here's the thing. Some of this is partially BTS's fault because you know how they've been gone for a while? I think almost 4 years. So having a higher expectation when you've been gone for a while, that's also something you have to understand from an audience. So I think that also makes sense. But I just felt like there's way too many reviews on this new BTS album that are so negative, and I genuinely felt if you didn't know that this was BTS, would you really be this critical about it? What I felt like was BTS wanted to present this album not as we are the representation of K-pop, we are the top music maker. They didn't approach it like that. They approached it like an individual. As a musician, they made it like a musician, but then people are expecting it to be some national treasure. Do you sort of get where I'm coming from? Like, you have to accept it as a musician's work rather than, this is gonna be the best K-pop song, or this has to be the best K-pop song. This has to satisfy everybody in the world. Like, the problem with it is that music, I genuinely don't think there is such music that could satisfy everybody. And I could also feel when you listen to the album, they don't have intention of satisfying everybody. If anything, do you guys agree? Dynamite, you could tell that it was made with the intention to satisfy everybody. You could literally hear in the music. But when you listen to the Arirang album, do you really think the intention of the album was to satisfy everybody? I really don't think so. Rather, if you could, take a sneak peek at the documentary and the way they're presenting it, they're saying it like we wanted to capture honest us. They're not making this to be loved by everybody, to go on Jimmy Fallon's show. That's not the point, So even before we actually get into the music, I just felt like the way people approached the album was wrong. Anyway, let's actually get into the song. Overall, when I listened to the whole album, I think at the second time listen, I sort of grasped the idea. So I think when you listen to album, the order that the album is placed in, as in the tracks are placed in, is very important. Can you guys tell me what's the impression you guys got from the tracks? I want to hear what your impression is. I also have my personal impression. How I felt like is, in the beginning, first few tracks, I got the impression, oh, okay, so this is what BTS wants to present to the world. And then around the middle tracks, this is what BTS wants to do. So this is members expressing. And near the end of the album, I felt, this is BTS giving armies what armies might want. What I meant by this is, okay, let's look through the album tracks. So the album starts with Body to Body, Hooligan, Alien, FYA 2.0. I think around here is what they wanted to present to the world. Around here is what they wanted to say. This is what they wanted to say. And around here is what they wanted to give to the armies. You know where I especially felt that? One More Night and Please, if you listen to it, it really has what you call old BTS vibe. Have you guys listened to these songs? It has the 화양연화, it has the Wings album sensation, the production as well as the lyrics. Over here. So if you're an army who've been loving BTS music for a long time, you really felt that nostalgia here. So I personally felt, I understand why ARMYs would love this because they brought the new presentation and this is how they feel and this is what they want to show to ARMY. Yes. If you felt like you have to feel nostalgia when you listen to these tracks. How could you not get that intention? I almost felt like this was very explicit. That's how I felt like. And you know how they chose the title as Swim instead of Body to Body? So I actually thought, and I still think, the title should have been Body to Body or Hooligan or Aliens or even Normal. But what I think is the reason why they picked Swim as a title is because these are closer to the message that they wanted to say. And I think instead of choosing the presentable one as title, I think they chose what they wanted to say. That's just kind of how I felt. Swim seems like a B-side to me, which I understand because generally when they come out with the title tracks, they come up with the very strong tracks. But Swim is it kind of goes against the general trend of picking title tracks. The mom pose. Sorry, I was just thinking about it. And another thing is, for the ARMYs who are saying, oh, they're not the same BTS I know anymore. Guys, if they're the same BTS 10 years ago, then there's a problem. I'm not saying they changed in a bad way, but over the years, I'm not even talking about the way people change. As a musician, their music should change. If you don't change in music, that means you're stuck, you're stagnant. You can't expect them to still do cyphers like in 2013, like you can't expect in 2026 to sing mic drop kind of songs in 2016. If they did that, then people would have made fun of them even more, saying like, they're doing the same stuff they did back in 2016. You know what's like, they do the same stuff they did back in 2016. People are like, you're still doing this. They do new thing, then people are like, they're not doing the old stuff anymore. What do you want them to do, huh? What do you want them to do? So I think they also know that there's no answer. Doesn't matter what music they release, there's always gonna be people who like it. There's always gonna be people who hate it. So they just kind of present it. I think that's why they're focusing more on what they wanted to say. I personally really liked lyrics to Normal and Aliens. Exactly, you can't please everyone. And I also really like the lyrics to They Don't Know About Us. The what they say and They Don't Know About Us, guys. It's funny how explicitly they talk to their haters. The exact things the people who are hating on BTS, if you listen to the song's lyrics, they literally reply directly. But you know what's funny? The people who are hating from the outside don't actually listen to the song, so they never actually hear the message. It's so ironic. They're like, the new comeback is trash. But then they actually haven't even heard what BTS is saying to them. So it's very... And I think BTS know that people won't listen. So, but again, wait, here's the thing. Before I go, you could completely not like the album. I think that's different from being a hater. Because I definitely have music that I don't like, but that's different from hating, Everything could be off preference. Yes. And another thing is, I actually thought this album had a very good variety. What I mean by that is, did you really feel like songs overlapped? Because I didn't feel that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say before I go. I think this is one of a sign of well-made album, is that each track is unique and it doesn't overlap. The way Body to Body, Swim into Please, it doesn't overlap. It's very different vibe for each song. You know how difficult that is? To have a 14 songs and not have overlapping, this song sounds like this song sensation. And exactly, the album is very cohesive. So if you listen to it as a whole, it makes more sense. In fact, for people who listen to the album, this is not even like a crazy technique anymore because nowadays a lot of musicians do it. But especially in the beginning, can you guys feel how transition from Body to Hooligan to Aliens, they very carefully made it so the transition to the outro and the intro is very smooth, which is always pleasant when you listen to music. Yes. And another thing, this is sort of something outside of the album because album is pre-recorded. But wow, guys, I know this might sound like something obvious and I might sound like I'm simply praising, but here's the thing, guys. I'm not even simply praising. This is actually fact. Their live singing and their performance skill and their dancing is actually unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix show with their comeback performance, but their live singing is so good. It's so unbelievably good that people don't I don't think people are understanding. Again, why? Because they already think this is obvious for BTS. I don't usually like to talk bad about other K-pop idol groups, but have you guys seen the recent 4th, 5th gen idol groups and how they struggle with live singing? Have you guys seen those controversies where whether girl groups or guy groups, when they have to do live singing, you could hear that they can't perform their songs live, just like how I can't perform my songs live. And the overall, ironically, what's happening in recent years is that expectation for idols live singing is actually going down. You know, people no longer expect idol to sing live perfectly. They're just kind of like, oh, it's okay, you know, you don't have to be perfect at live. And I'm not gonna mention any other groups, but most group, the tendency is to go for less live. And guys, let me tell you, imagine if there's a newly debuted group and they sing like how BTS sings live right now. Just imagine how much people would go crazy. What I'm saying is, people are taking it so obvious of how good they are at live singing and at dancing because they've already seen it for years. They're like, oh, BTS is always good, you know? So imagine if there's a newly debuted group and they sing like that. That would be revolutionary, which is why BTS was revolutionary, but yes. So, I mean, I was literally at the concert, right? Guys, singing... Can I just do a personal... Exactly. That's why groups like Longshot and Cortez is getting hyped. And also this personal talk. Wow, in this new comeback, I really enjoy... I mean, this might be obvious, but I especially enjoy Jungkook's vocal. Jungkook's vocal over the years, if I'm being honest, in the beginning of BTS career, I didn't really find Jungkook's vocal that impressive. If I'm being honest, I just didn't really... It didn't catch my ears that much. I knew he was good, but you know, that's about it. But now, I think Jungkook actually broke that barrier, and even as a singer, I think he's world class. Obviously, BTS is world class, but I think his pure singing skill is something else. Jungkook's pure singing skill is really something else. Yes. And I actually think RM's rap designing has improved over the years. You know how idols might be idols, but they're also musicians. And RM over the years have continued to work on his music, right? And I could sort of hear that RM has made that progress and improvement compared to their initial debut and then in the middle and then until now. I think RM is going through this whole journey of finding his color, finding his style. I could literally hear it. Can you notice how RM goes through this different phase of changing his tone? Compared to debut, compared to their middle, compared to now, RM's tone has become a little bit more natural in my opinion. In the beginning of their career, he rapped more like, no, it's not, it's not, you know? He kind of rapped more made up voice. But now he kind of raps a little bit more like, you know? Do you see where I'm coming from? No. I mean, do you know what I'm talking about? No, you know what I'm talking about. You know, this is... No, you have to know what I'm talking about. In the beginning, it's like, Sorry. Because good rappers over the years change in tone and they find their tone. Please never do that again. I wasn't even trying to be a mockery. No, I'm being serious. What? I wasn't even trying to give an ick. Guys, this is how musicians talk. This is really how... Yeah, big house, big rings. I want... Yeah. Anyway. And again, I guess, obviously, lyrics improved as well. He doesn't say big house, big rings. I'm not saying that lyrics was bad, but... Oh, that's Suga's lyrics? I'm so sorry. I'm a fake fan. My bad. I got confused. Just turn off the stream. I apologize. Yeah, stupid, that's Suga. I apologize. Anyway, going back to the album. You know, my roommate Sean, you know what he said his favorite was? He said his favorite was 2.0. Can I be honest? I don't even remember. Wait, this might sound terrible. I don't even remember how that song sounded like. It didn't catch my ear. So for me, this one didn't catch my ear. For me, Aliens caught my ears way more. But again, everyone resonate with different track. So, and I also really liked Please. You know what Please sounded like to me? You know the BTS song 하루만? 하루만. One More Day? I think it kind of got the same sensation. I don't know, just for me. That's what I got. As well as One More Night and Yeah. You resonated more with Normal. In terms of lyrics, I really liked Normal's lyrics. Yes. Number 29 was best. This one didn't catch my ear either. just being honest. It didn't. Oh, Hooligan's my favorite, without doubt. I really, guys, in terms of production, Body to Body and Hooligan's production, even Alien, I think these three, there's a reason why it's the first three tracks. Because this is the best production. Do you guys agree? Okay, you just cannot deny. Guys, the production on, obviously for the whole album is great, but especially these three, unbelievable. I love the knife sound in Hooligan. The shing, 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 shing. You know, since I'm a musician, when I listen to that, you know what I think? Wow. When they try to use that knife sound, they probably had to, adjust the sound with using EQ and other things so that the high notes doesn't actually feel unpleasant. Because if you think about it, an actual sound of knife to knife, shing, shing, like that kind of sound, is not pleasant to your ears. Metallic sound has a very high resonance. So if you don't package it correctly, it could hurt your ear and become unpleasant. But I thought, wow, they really made this so that it sounds pleasant in all frequency. I don't know if this is just kind of like coming from a musician. the production and even the, I don't know how you guys feel about the ha 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 ha. Hooligan. I thought that was really well performed, especially by J-Hope. I think not only is it funny, but I think it's, how do I say it? I think sort of exaggeration is necessary in the production. That's the worst part. That's the best part. What are you talking about? That's literally the best part of the album. Do you guys? This is literally the best part. No? Jungkook made that part. Shout out to Jungkook. Shout out to Jungkook. Yeah. Personally, I don't know. This is just my opinion, okay? Into the Sun. Just just my personal opinion. I wanted something more Korean for the outro, if that makes sense. I wanted something more sweet and more sweet. I like sweet songs, so I just wish it was more sweet, but it's alright. Yes. I forgot which one it was. There was one song where the string production, actually not just one, overall, guys, the string production, I already mentioned this before in other live stream, but the string production in the Arirang album really has that 화양연화 album sensation. Yo's trying to not get canceled. No, it's not even that. Yeah. So personally, this is my sensation about the album. I really enjoyed the first, and then I kind of didn't really feel it. Can I be honest? In the interview that I did with Korea Now, I said my favorite track was Swim. I don't feel Swim that much. I feel it, but I don't feel it. I don't know. Yo, time out, Yorismo. That girl. Okay, let me do it myself. You're just being a hater. Swim. It's not bad. I don't know. I don't know. If anything, if I were to list on my favorites in the album, I would say Swim is 10th place. I'm just being honest. I don't know, guys. I like Normal. I like Animals. I like They Don't Know About Us. I think these, One More Night. I like One More Night. I like Please. I like Hooligan. I like Body to Body. I like Aliens. It's okay. 2.0 is okay. So, I don't know why that's the title. I just don't. Sorry. Again, maybe I haven't listened to it enough. Because I think RM said this song is like 평양냉면. 평양냉면 is a type of noodle in Korea, and I just ate that when I was in Korea. It's a noodle that doesn't have much flavor, but the more you eat it, the more you get addicted to it. And he said the song is like that. So maybe I just have to listen to it more and more, then I'll slowly get into it. Before I continue with the content, there's so many people in the chat that's getting on my nerve. These kids are getting on my nerves. Let me just manually eliminate these people. Who said Hosang look behind you? Yo, time out that Manura girl. Who else? I don't know. There were some comments that was just getting on my eyes. Shring. Oh, another thing. Okay, you know what a lot of Korean people are talking about? A lot of people in Korea are saying, why is there no Korean lyrics? And it makes me think, there is Korean lyrics. Did you not listen to the album? And then they say, oh, well, the title song didn't have one. I swear, the conversation's like this. They would say, they don't have Korean. And I'm like, there is Korean. Like, not in the title. Then you should have said there's no title, there's no Korean in the title song, not there's no Korean in the album. Like, it literally proves that you haven't listened to the album and just hating because you saw the newspaper saying BTS doesn't have Korean in their album. Like, I get so annoyed. It's not even because I'm ARMY, but it's by the fact that people are hating how, like, okay, like, sorry, I'm going a little bit crazy. How are you badly rating an album from someone else's review? Like, it's like hating on a movie that you haven't seen because people said it was a bad movie. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, if you actually listen to the album, you would know there's literally Korean in the album. Like, but I do agree. There is less Korean than compared to their earlier stuff. Do you guys agree? And I personally did agree in the sense where I did think they could have put more Korean in there. And I do agree. I wish their title song had Korean in them. But I also think there's a legal and marketing reason behind it. Did you guys know? If the songs have non-English lyrics in it, it has a harder time being played on American radio station. So, strategically, they can't have the title song in Korean. The reason why Dynamite did so well is because it didn't have Korean in it. Even though there's so many people who enjoy Korean culture and Korean music, at the same time, the Western world is still very repulsed to non-English music. If you guys know, Western audience, well, I'm sure you guys are fine, but you guys know how there's so many people who won't even watch a movie with captions, subtitles? They say, oh, I can't read subtitles. So it's not surprising about how close-minded some of the English-using Western countries are. Also to appeal globally in the world where English is predominantly the international language. So for people who are upset or hating on the fact that BTS didn't have English in their title song, Korean in their title song, let me say it like this. I think it was actually a good move for them to not use Korean in the title song and get better album performance on Billboard charts and things like that. Because if they added Korean and the song would have performed less because it contains multiple different languages, then the people who are waiting to hate on BTS would be like, ha ha ha, look at them. See, they don't perform as well. See, that's exactly what I thought. So in a way, I think it's not a bad idea to go strategic with the title song because you gotta show that you actually perform well. And then put the Korean in the other song. So if anything, I wish there was more Korean in the other songs. I think it's totally fine having the title song in English. Yes. Again, it's not okay. The people who are saying, if you're Korean, you should put Korean in your lyrics. These people won't take responsibility when it comes to actually song performing well on American radio station or not. They don't care. They don't take any responsibility. They're just sitting at home and saying to BTS like, make Korean songs. Do they ever go to concert? Do they ever do anything? Do they ever buy album? No, they don't do anything. They just say like, if you're Korean, you should do this. Like they don't contribute anything. So I think it's a good thing that here's the thing. At the same time, I think BTS members themselves probably don't care too much about the performances anymore, how it does well on the charts. So I think it was more of a company's decision, and I could tell that the members wanted to add Korean. But at the same time, as a fan, as a supporter, I think you sometimes gotta show to the world that you could get good numbers, and then you show Korean in the other songs. It's just, it's just market things and the way our world is right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in the future, the way we live in America might change, where one day American audience might be open to other language music. I think, if anything, can you guys agree? America is just slowly opening up to Spanish, Hispanic music. You guys know how much people are hating on Bad Bunny because it wasn't in English, which I understand, but all that repulse people are getting. So literally Spanish is the second most used language in America, and people are like so repulsed by the fact that he wasn't singing in English. So in order for BTS to appeal to the global world, especially to US, which is one of the biggest market in the world, at right now it might be a timing for BTS to use English. Can I be honest? The job of using a fully Korean song on American TV station might be something that future K-pop idols might have to achieve. We can't make too many changes from just one group. I feel like those things are things that you slowly break the barrier over time. And I'm hoping that maybe when we get to 6th generation K-pop, it won't be too surprising to hear, Korean coming out from American radio station. It might be difficult, but yes. Because culture sometimes shifts very slowly over generation. So the generation who grew up listening to BTS right now, when they become grandma and grandpas, then it might be more accepting. But is anyone in the grandma and grandpa generation, there is older armies, but did they grow up listening to other language in America? Not really. So it's going to be difficult for all the generation to suddenly accept, which is, in fact, the people who are accepting these Korean music at older ages, they're very flexible in their mind. It's really hard for people to accept things. In fact, that applies to all of you guys, because everyone who's watching stream right now, most of Hyomi's, most of you guys, I'm sure you guys enjoy Korean music or just non-English music in general, right? Japanese music, Chinese music, not even music, Chinese drama or European film. You guys already don't have that repulsion. But at the same time, you guys know, even if you talk to your friends, don't you guys have that friend who's like, oh, I don't really watch international shows. Oh, I only watch things in English. Which makes sense, guys. That's the same way in Korea. Korean people are also more prone to consuming Korean culture. Obviously, Korean people listen to Japanese music and all that, but we're naturally just not that flexible. So people who are here and, people who listen to these kind of music, it's just that you guys have a little bit more flexibility in mind. And I think it's really good because with that flexible mind, you could also enjoy more good things and more culture. Do you guys agree? If you just allow yourself to be a little bit flexible, then you could enjoy the whole world's culture. But if you're not flexible, then you could only forever listen to US music. I'm not saying US music's bad, but it's kind of like a food. Burger is great. Hamburger is great. You could eat hamburger all your life. That's great. But if you just open up a little bit, then you could try international food. You could try, Indian curry. You could try like Mexican food. You could try Chinese food, So it just makes your options wider. I think it's the same way with music, same way with other things. Sorry, I got a little bit swayed coming from, this was supposed to be a BTS album review, but you guys know I usually yap forever. This is why I have hard time doing content, but exactly. Oh, again, I do want to say this though. Mind is same as body. You know how babies are flexible? But as you get older, you become less flexible? It's the same thing, which is why I always get so shocked when older audience is able to accept K-pop and enjoy BTS, because as you get older, people tend to not accept new things in different culture, different language, different race. I personally don't think I could be that flexible. Guys, if you tell me when I become 60, when I become 70, and the aliens come to our world and their skin is green and they speak an alien language, and for me to enjoy their music, that flexibility... Do you guys see where I'm coming from? These people who enjoy, Korean music at older age, when they're young, imagine the level of flexibility they had in my age. I'm already not flexible. I already don't want to try when it's in like different language that I don't know. Then I'm like, I don't know. I only really listen to Japanese music. What's wrong with green screen? That's what I'm saying. Is there anything wrong with green skin? No, there isn't. But we get repulsed just by the fact that someone's skin is not in the skin color. I think that's sort of where racial prejudice and, all that comes in. But sorry, this is a whole different topic. You guys sort of see where I'm coming from. You guys get the idea. Sorry, it was supposed to be, again, an album review. But like always, I yap so much. Going back to the album, I do think it's very sad that Jin didn't get to participate in the process of making the album. I don't really know the full story behind it. I know that he was on tour, and I know that's why he didn't get to participate. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about his name not being in the credit and other things, because we live in 2026. You could work overseas, you could work online, so I really don't know. I don't know. And at the same time, I literally just made a video about Enhypen concerning the same thing. I don't want to make over assumption judging by members' facial expression and things like that. I feel like those kind of actions are always, it leads to a bad result. So unless Jin himself express it explicitly, then I think we shouldn't make over assumption. Because here's the thing. Let's say, for example, this is what Jin wanted, and if we make an incorrect assumption, that's wrong, right? But let's say Jin didn't enjoy the situation where he didn't get to participate. But if he decided to not speak up about it, that's because he had his own reason, whether to protect the group's peace, whether to, whatever the reason is, if he decided to not speak, then he has his reason. So if we overanalyze and say, oh, they hate Jin, then that goes against Jin's intention of not speaking up. So I don't want to further go and say, oh, the members should have blah, blah, blah. I think I just kind of, I will just silently wait. But I'm going to stop at, I wish Jin participated. Yes. Because we don't know the full story. Even if you see the documentary, that's not the full story. Not everything is in the documentary. So, yeah. Well, again, especially because I feel like Jin is one of the members who are very crucial to keeping BTS together. I think he's even doing that right now. I think the word is linchpin. Have you guys ever heard the term linchpin? Linchpin, please tell me if I'm saying incorrect information because this is something I heard years ago, is a part in a watch that is very tiny and it almost seems useless. But without it, the whole watch won't work. So it's something that doesn't seem as crucially important, but it also is holding everything together. That's called linchpin. I personally think Jin is a linchpin in BTS, where even though he might not be always in the front and looking like he's taking care of everything, some random words. I just know it from here and there. I hear random information. I think he really is the linchpin, which is why I wish he's treated well because I really think he's the one that's keeping the group together. If I speak a little bit more, I think the younger lines in BTS have more of their self-will, self-free will desire. So I think the older lines generally keep it together. Wait, are you Korean? Okay, wait, never mind. That's Harper. She's joking. I am Korean, by the way. The newbies might get confused. Hitman Bang is also at fault. Can I be honest? I don't know how I feel about Hitman Bang anymore. I used to respect him a lot as a musician, as a CEO. But over the years, the things that he's been, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I feel like he might not be the same Hitman Bang I looked up to back in 2013. I still think he's a great musician, but I don't know how I feel about him as a person. 방시혁, yes. It's not that I ever really liked him, but undeniably he's a great musician. That's really undeniable. I don't enjoy when people say Hitman Bang is not a great musician. I think JYP, Hitman Bang, these are one of the best producers in Korea. I feel like Hitman Bang doesn't know how to read the room sometimes. Oh, I think he's been like that ever since he was 20. If you watch interview that did you guys know Hitman Bang and JYP is was, I don't know if they still are best friends. They grew up together. Not since child, but since 1917 or something like that. They started music together. And JYP has said Hitman Bang doesn't know how to read room. Not in a dissing way, but he said Hitman Bang lacks social ability a lot. I think everybody could tell. Yes. No, not 1917 as a year. I meant the age 1917. That's not the year, not the year. No. Sorry. But yeah, at the same time, you know how great businessmen aren't always great people? In fact, the greatest businessmen are generally terrible people. So I think maybe this is me talking too nicely. BTS might have been successful because Hitman Bang is not a good person. If he had been a good person, then we might have not gotten here. Yes. But again, I'm not saying I'm not trying to defend his action. I don't know how I feel about him anyway. I really don't know. And let me not talk about Hybe anymore. Here's the thing. Naturally, as a K-pop fan or as a BTS fan or any idol fan, it's hard for you to like the company because oftentimes a lot of things are blamed on the company. But recently there's so many things where I feel like it is the company's fault. I don't even have to mention which things I'm referring to. I don't know. Hybe definitely is making good music. Well, is Hybe making good music? I don't know. They're a management company. I don't know if that management aspect is being well done right now. As a music company, I think they're doing well. But as a management company, I don't know. Anyway, let me wrap up the album talk. I think it's a great album. I really think it's being underrated because people are setting different standard on BTS, but I think it's a great album. And personally, I like this way more than their recent songs. Rating out of 10? You guys know I give ratings terribly. You guys know I give ratings terribly. If I say the number, then people won't understand how I rate things. I rate things usually from 3 to 4. Please don't rate it. Let me not rate it because I think number won't deliver the right sensation to people. Yes. But let me not give a rating. I think you got the impression just from the things I said earlier. Yes. No, it's actually not that low. It's actually not that low. If it was low, then I wouldn't have talked nice about it, if that makes sense. Yes. For me, I don't rate an album low if there's a song I enjoyed from it, if that makes sense. No, higher than a 4. Higher than a 4.